Oh, sorry, I was looking for my my sunglasses here because it's fucking obnoxiously bright out right now. And I have no idea where I put them. So, check it out. Oh, here they are. Hold on. So, right now, Shiba's tanking hard. Now, a lot of my friends are messaging me being like, hey, what happened? I was about to buy in. It's crashing. So, check it out. Crashing isn't completely a bad thing. Cryptocurrencies will go up and down, especially ones based on memes. They'll go up to a point and then they'll kind of level out and then they'll crash down hard. Now, I should have sold out when it was 4 zeros and 8 and then waited for it to crash and then buy back in. But unfortunately, I only sold at 4 zeros and 6.3. Now, it's crashing hard. It's down to about 40 now. And it's going to, Jesus, fucking notifications. And it's going to keep crashing down. Now, what you want to do is when it crashes like this, you want to just let it plummet. Just let it completely drop. Don't buy nothing. Don't do nothing. And what's going to end up happening is eventually once it hits its bottom, or what they consider a plateau, it is going to start doing this. When it starts doing this, that's when you buy back in. Now, you don't have to put all of your money back in. You can, let's say you had initially 5 grand in, you sold when you had 9 grand. Cool. Only put 3 back in then. Take your initial investment out, walk away, put 3 back in at the bottom part of that dip there, and then when it skyrockets again slowly over time, because people get scared. It plummets, they sell, it plummets harder, it plateaus, people buy back in. It's just like the stock market. Things on the internet, things that Elon Musk's, or Musk, I don't know if I fucking said that wrong. Things that famous people say can cause the price to fluctuate. Other coins cause the price to fluctuate. Dogecoin dropping, people switching over, Bitcoin skyrocketing. All of these things will affect the price of other currencies. Now that it's plummeting, allow it to plateau out and then buy back in. Once you buy back in, allow it to climb, spike, but you've already seen that it can reach 4 zeros, 8. Now, it will spike back up eventually and be able to hit that same price or higher. And this is where the calculated risk comes in. Do you let it go up to 7.5 or 8? Jesus, fucking notifications. God, that's annoying. So do you let it go up to 7.5 or 8 or even higher, or drop a 0 before you sell again? That's where the calculated risk comes in that you need to make on your own. What they call people with paper hands are people that they buy in, and as soon as there's a profit, they sell because they're scared they get out. Where people with diamond hands are people that hold on to it and they don't sell until they can make essentially hundreds of thousands of dollars on it, which again is also another risk, a lot less calculated, more or less, hey, this is going to hit 1 penny, I'm going to make millions of dollars, I'm going to just let it sit. Now, if Shiba can drop back down to 4 zeros and a 2, that is the perfect time to drop $1,000 to $5,000 in and walk away and wait for it to go all the way up. Oh, look at that. That's funny. I love it how these videos of my shop is always followed by people that dislike me. And the funny part is they all follow my channel, which is, it's amazing. But anyway, so that's what you want to do. You want to, as soon as it drops and plateaus, you want to buy back in and let it go up. And you can let it go up and take your profit and sell and make it out. You don't have to become a millionaire off of one cryptocurrency. You can make a couple. So for those of you who already had money in and your money's still in and it's crashing, unfortunately, your best bet is to either pull out, let it crash harder and buy back in, or to hold on for a ride and wait for it to climb back up. And again, that's a risk that you need to decide on your own. So I just wanted to come out and basically put something out there so that people can understand what the next move is to make, because things like cryptocurrencies and the stock market are not always easy for people to understand why they do what they do. I put a lot of money into new cryptocurrencies as they come out. So I get a notification. Yeah, that's funny. You know, the thing with that is that people aren't going to be able to see his comments because it looks like they're disappearing. So Dal is whatever's commenting on this, and the thing is apparently he said something to me as a joke, or he claims it was a joke, and I got upset about it, and now he's mad at me or whatever. I really don't care. I've never done anything on purpose to hurt another human being or to take money from them. You know, with these big groups of all these people talking poorly or about what we have going on, nobody ever stopped around, lied about what they could do, and then did a lot of shitty things to vehicles that basically came back to bite me in the ass. And it makes sense, being a shop owner, that I'm the one that's getting bashed for it, because I employed these people. You know, the crappy thing about it is that when things started to hit fan, a lot of these people that did things to other people's vehicles that was poor, jumped on the, hey, let's hate reckless motorsports bandwagon, so that way when I came out and I was like, what are you talking about, you're the one that did that, they could be like, well, you're just saying that because you know, you're trying to save face or whatever. You know, it is what it is. There's only one person that has any type of complaint whatsoever that is even worth talking because of his actions, of how he acted after things went south. And to be honest, I don't even remember the guy's name anymore. But it's a guy with talking to me about it, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere he's like, I'm gonna come get my truck. Well, at this point we already pulled the motor out, we pulled the tranny out, we ordered a motor and tranny, we already did a bunch of the going through his wiring and stuff like that, and he only had $3,500 down. Well, he's like, hey, like, I want my money. And I said, hey, you're gonna have to give me a few days to a week. I can sit down with my employees, figure out what was all done to the vehicle, and decide what a fair is, because we work a vehicle, and you're not going to come to my shop and take a vehicle just because he was someone that had any type of grounds to complain. Now, obviously, my freaking timer isn't timing again. I don't even know how many people are getting this feed. But needless to say, when it's all said and done, there's nothing that I've personally done to another person's vehicle to do anything negative. You know, we got this guy with this Corvette who's complaining that we wrecked this Corvette, blah, blah, blah. No. He gave permission to someone else to drive the vehicle. And, you know, it is what it is at the end of the day. And, you know, people want to talk about lawsuits and things like that. There's no lawsuits pending against me. There's no lawsuits pending against my business. There's none of this. None of this stuff exists. What we have is a bunch of children who jumped on a bandwagon together that thought that they could do something in order to basically take money from me because they weren't happy with their situation. So that's the end of that. Maybe I'll put out a video digging deeper into all of these. But again, at the end of the day, it is what it is at this point, which is just you. But we actually have an extremely large following of shops and people that go through and watch all these videos. So, you know, we also tune hundreds of, and I shouldn't say we, it's just me. I'm the only person now. No one works for me. No one does anything else for me. It is just me. I have gotten rid of any single person that was attached to me. And I do all my work because I need people to do the job correctly, then just do it yourself. And that's my fault. I hired a bunch of shitty people. That's my fault. But there's no vehicle out there that has anything done. No, Charlie does not work for me. I don't even talk to Charlie. There's too many people that I hired that were just liabilities for me, liabilities for myself. You know, hurt a shop that I had in Texas that had the opportunity to be an amazing shop. You know, there's got so many people on it. You got one guy who has an actual complaint, and then you got 20 other people that had their cars worked on looking for a free paycheck, and then you got a couple hundred people who have never met me, never had me work on their car or anything else. And it's just, at the end of the day, I guess it is what it is. You know, people want to, again, there's no lawsuit pending, no one's showing up at my address. none of that stuff happens. It's a lot of people talk because they need something to talk or complain about. The guy that created the page loved the work that we did to his car, wanted us to work on his other car. His friend doesn't like me, so they created the page and they created a bandwagon. And unfortunately, that's how people in the Texas Panhandle are, is they're very bandwagony. One person says something and they'll burn the shop to the ground, whether the shop did something wrong or not. So it's definitely unfortunate to say the least, but I guess at the end of the day, it is what it is. But you know, none of it's hurting my business. My business continues to grow and continues to run, and without issue. Now there's a whole bunch of people watching, so I'll go back to what I was saying before. And Shiba's crashing. Let it crash. Buy back in on the dip. And if you want to just make a quick change, sell out on the top and just keep repeating the process. For those of you who are a little bit stronger into crypto, look into buying the crypto called Hedge and the crypto called Floki. Both of those